Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is all kind of new for me, so we're going to see how this works. So I'm sorry, I apologise in advance for the tripod. Then the camera setup. The tripod right now is my little elephant statue with 3 yoga blocks. So very typical yoga-y makeshift tripod. Also, my pup is just, let me move you so you can see her. Just there eating her chew. So if you hear any manky sort of like crunchy noises, that's her. Welcome to the first video of this channel. I've been wanting to get online a little bit more, and because I personally know how difficult it is to home practice. I find it really challenging to home practice myself, even though I am a yoga teacher, and I find that I wish some of my teachers were on YouTube so I could practice what we've been doing in class at home without having to just follow my own lead. So that's kind of why I started this, that's why I want to start this channel. So we're going to practice a nice energizing morning practice. You don't have to do this in the morning if you want to pick me up in the afternoon, or if you have a bit of energy in the evening and it feels like you need a shot of yoga coffee. This practice is for you. To start off our practice, we're going to start standing, in fact. So I want you to come to bring, so come to bring your feet just underneath your hips, a little bit wider if that doesn't feel stable for you, a little bit narrower if that's more comfortable, but roughly underneath your hip bones. Toes point forward, set your arms by your side, roll your arms forward. In fact, just start off with a couple of big shoulder rolls. Take the arms up all the way back and let them drift all the way down. Just get into any crunchy bits of the shoulders, maybe free up the neck. Just easing into your morning just by easing out of anything that feels a little sticky straight away. Shake off the hands and then come to roll the palms forwards, closing down your eyes. And just take a couple moments here to root down. Feel the feet as they press deeply, strongly, earthily into the floor. And notice how as the feet spread and widen, it feels like the base of your stability is growing a little bit wider. Start to feel how that rooting action through the feet allows you to rise up a little through the rest of the body. So start to feel the pelvic floor rise. So this is called our Mula Bandha. So this idea of lifting into the perineum or the pelvic floor. And this helps to create this action of sealing the energy in and up towards the core. Start to find how that then engages your Uddiyana Bandha, so the belly button lock, drawing the navel in and up towards the back of the spine. Feel the heart just very effortlessly rise towards the sky, and then allow your shoulders to melt and drift down your back body. From there, start to find a little more energy of your fingertips rooting down, so we get this weightiness on the tops of the shoulders. Head then starts to float on top of the heart, so maybe you lean the head back very slightly, finding this nice long line of energy all the way from the crown of your head down to the heels of your feet. Once you've found this tall line, start to feel almost like you're starting to breathe energy into your body. So whether you feel really energized and quite busy in your mind, maybe a little overly energized, getting to the point of anxiousness, or if you feel a little groggy and you need energy, start to feel like you're breathing in what you need right now. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. Let's let a big sigh fall out of the mouth. And take that one more time for me. So really big breath in, fill your body up. Let a sigh fall all the way out. And then closing your mouth. We'll start to lightly and softly connect into the rhythm of your breath. Taking a deeper inhale through your nose. This time we release out with a strong exhale through your nose. Deep breath all the way in. Strong exhale, rooting all the way down. And lightly begin to blink your eyes open. Let's take an inhale as you raise the arms all the way above your head. Catch a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Take another inhale to sit the breath up all the way through the body. As you exhale, reach your hips to the right side and reach your fingertips towards the left. Big side stretch. Next inhale, come through center and switch your hands. And then as you exhale, reach up and over, fingers to the right, hips to the left. Inhale, rise to center. As you exhale, circle the hands behind you and interlock your fingertips behind your back. Give the shoulders a little wriggle side to side. Soften your knees really generously. Big breath in, puff your heart upwards. Now as you exhale, we're going to start to melt the weight forwards and down and come into a nice big forward fold. Now be kind to yourself. This might be the first big opening you've done all day, especially if you're practicing this in the morning. So just be really gentle. I want you to bend your knees until your ribs can collect onto your thighs. Melt the weight of the head down, so take everything you're holding onto out of your head, out of your neck and your jaw. And then maybe you start to wriggle the knuckles right in there. And then maybe you match this by pedaling out your legs, bending one knee, bringing the same shoulder to the same bent leg. So left knee to left shoulder, left right knee then to right shoulder. Keeping this going just for a few more rounds. And then from there, find center, bend your elbows and drift the fingertips towards the floor. Slide your hands onto the thighs or the shins. As you breathe in, let's take it easy, long spine. Good, as you breathe out, bend your knees and fold over your legs. Again, really be generous with that bend into your knees. As early as it, be kind to yourself. Take one more. Hands onto thighs or shins. We inhale to find length. Exhale as you drift and fold forwards. From here, take a big step back with your right foot. As the right foot steps to the back of your mat, let's drop the knee all the way down and tuck the right toes. Come right up onto your fingertips and lengthen your spine forwards. Now from here, again, connect into those bandhas that we had when standing. So the Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, your tummy. Take an inhale, reach your fingertips towards the sky. Now as you exhale, can you invite a little more softness through your legs? So allow the hips to hinge forwards. Press through the sole of your left foot and find a little rooting energy through the top of your back foot. And then from there, grow the fingertips upwards. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the hands all the way down towards the floor. Frame your front foot, tuck your right toes, lift your knee, lift your hips, and step back to a downward facing dog for me. Now this might be your first down dog of the day, so even if it is or if it isn't, just start to bring a little movement through the body. Pedal through your legs, bend one knee, stretch your opposite heel down, take it to the other side. Maybe you shake your head out side to side, maybe your leg rises to the sky. Anything that feels good for you right now, take that. There might be a fluffy tail in the screen right now, sorry about that. No, they've decided to wake up. From here, we'll find center, so root down through your palms. Can you press more weight into the space in between your thumb and your first finger? Then think about knitting your rib cage in, so the belly is really strong, core is rising, hips are lifting, heels are softening, so don't worry too much about pushing your heels to the floor. Focus more on the long spine. If that means softening your knees, then soften your knees. Take an inhale, come up to your tiptoes. Now as you exhale, ripple your spine all the way forwards and out into your high back, shoulders moving on top of your wrists. Take an inhale as you look forwards. Exhale, drop your knees, squeeze elbows, lean forwards as you lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, loop the shoulders onto the back of your body. Let's inhale to rise into just a very low cobra. As you exhale, peel the chest all the way down to the floor. Take that one more time, loop your shoulders. Use that to initiate the movement, inhaling up into your cobra, maybe a little higher. Good, and then exhale, hips to heels, tuck your toes and rise all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. As you get to down dog, if you're lucky enough to have a puppy that is eating your face right now, just enjoy that. Thanks, Lola. So rooting through your left foot, let's take an inhale, sweep your right leg up and back behind you. Now as your right leg lifts, flex your toes down to the floor so we level out the hips. Press the floor away with your hands and draw the navel in. Next, in breath, come up to your left hip toes. As you exhale, round your right knee to your nose, look forwards, hollow your belly and set the foot as close as you can in between the hands. So remember, if the foot doesn't get all the way there, it really doesn't matter. Just drop it as close as you can, plant your left knee and help the foot come up. Rise up to your fingertips, curl your shoulders back. Take a full breath in. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Hands onto thighs or shins, inhale, look forwards. Breathe out as you fold forwards. Rooting through legs, inhale, carry your arms up, look at your thumbs. As you exhale, connect your palms to your heart. Same thing, inhale, take the arms around your mat, looking up. Breathe out as you fold all the way over the legs, bowing your head, bowing your hands, bowing your heart. Maybe start to lengthen through the legs, tilt the sit bones up. Send more weight into the balls of your feet here. As you breathe in, look forwards. Breathe out, fingertips to the floor. Step your left foot behind you. Drop the left knee and untuck the left toe. So your feet and your right foot and your left knee going on train tracks here. They're as wide as your hip bones. Pressing down, rise to fingertips, and then carry your arms high up to the sky, coming into your Anjali-asana, your low lunge. Soften your face, soften the shoulders, the knees, the hips. Allow everything to melt down without losing that little integrity, that rising action from the belly. Lower belly draws in, Mula Bandha lifts, and then we grow up from there. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower the hands all the way down. Frame your front foot, tuck your left toes. Pick it up, lift your hips, and step back to downward facing dog. As you get to down dog, one inhale rises you up to the toes. Now imagine that you have a ball on your lower back and you're going to reach it and ripple it forwards to the back of your neck. So we slowly curl into chest and then we wave the body all the way out into a high plank, eventually lengthening your head. Take a breath in as you get there, find your strength. Exhale, knees or toes shift forwards, bend the elbows, squeeze them in and lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, squeeze the shoulders, inhale, come to your Bhujangasana, lower or maybe a little higher. Exhale, hips move back to the heels before tucking the toes and rising up, downward facing dog. As you get there, straight away, let's press more weight onto the right heel and then use that strength to rise the left leg up and back behind you. As the left leg lifts, level out the hips, flex the toes down to the floor, and again, actively press the floor away with your hands. Can the elbows knit in a little narrower? Inhale, come up to your right tiptoes. Exhale, left knee to nose, curl it forwards, look forwards, and then step your foot as close as you can towards the top. Rise up onto your fingertips, curl your shoulders back, and press your back heel away, lengthening out through the spine here. We'll take a breath in to look forwards. Breathe out, bend your back knee, lift your hips to the sky and forward fold, both feet under the hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Breathe out as you fold over the legs. Inhale, arms rise, we lift the thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart. Good, this time wiggle the feet in as narrow as you can. So if you can get them to touch, let them touch. Otherwise, feet hip width is fine, or just a little narrower. Send the arms by your side, and again, loop your palms forwards. Now take a bend into your knees for me. Fingertips graze the floor. We inhale, rise to Utkatasana, your chair. As you exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, soften your knees. Step your right foot and left foot back, high plank. Inhale as you arrive, look forwards. Exhale, lower all the way down, knees or toes. Squeeze shoulders, untuck toes. Inhale, rise up to your cobra. Exhale, hips to heels, tuck your toes, rise up, downward facing dog. As you get to down dog this time, walk your feet out as wide as the mat, so the toes are forward, the heels are behind your toes. Now looking towards your hands, step your left hand into the centre of your mat. Now plug through that palm. Rather than sitting into the shoulder, I want you to press the floor away with that hand. Slide your right hand now under your face. You might choose to stay there, or you might be able to take a hold of the outside of your left leg with your right hand, whether it's thigh, calf, or foot. And then from here, begin to turn your gaze under your left arm. Again, press the floor away with your left hand, wrap the shoulder, and rotate from the belly. Big inhale. Exhale, lower the right hand and switch it to the other side. Right hand moves into the centre of the mat. Plug through the palm, fingers are spread wide. Slide your left hand under your face. First option there, keep wrapping your right shoulder back. Second option, take a hold of the outer leg with your left hand. Take a breath in. Use your exhale to rotate underneath your right arm, maybe looking towards the sky above you. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower the left hand, move your hands as wide as shoulders, feet as wide as hips. Pressing through left foot, inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose, curl it in and place the foot towards the top of your mat. As the foot arrives, rise up onto tented fingertips. So you create these little teepees with the palms. Now you're going to send more energy into the left fingers, and as you inhale, reach your right arm towards the sky. Now as the right arm lifts, temptation is to lift your right hip with the thumb. So can you ground that right hip back? Almost feel like you're sliding the right hip back, pressing your left heel away from you. pull the lower belly in, and draw all of this strength and this intention that's starting to build through the legs, the fire that's building through the legs. Can you draw that into the belly? Take an inhale. Exhale, right hand is going to move behind you, palm is open. Now get a little lighter on the left fingers, keep your gaze to the side if you can, and reach your left arm all the way forwards, coming into a twist. Now again, belly draws in, and we use that strength of the bandhas to then revolve the ribs, the chest, collarbones and arms by your side. Next inhale, both arms will lift. Exhale, drop the left heel to the floor, open into a warrior two just for a moment. From here, straighten your front leg, flip your front palm, left hand to left leg. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana. As you exhale, begin to come forwards with the right hand and reach your left arm to the sky, full Utthita Trikonasana. I'm just gonna switch sides. Take a breath in as you get there. Now as you exhale, reach your left bicep alongside your ear, curl your spine, so collapse the chest, drop your left hand and right hand to the long edge of your mat, and then turn your right toes forwards. So the feet come parallel now, short edges of the feet are lined up with the short edges of your mat. That made no sense. Little toe sides of the feet, short edges of the mat. Inhale, come up to your fingertips, or hands to shins, look forwards. Breathe out as you fold over the legs. And then just from here, take a little bend into one knee, stretch it out, take it to the other side. Maybe you shake the head out, maybe you move the body with you here. Maybe you just hold onto opposite elbow and hang. Anything that feels really kind to your body right now. Anything that helps you get out of your head and move back into your feeling body. Just from here, inhale, come to your fingertips. And look at the back of your mat for me, look at your left foot. Walk your hands towards it, pick up your left toes, pick up your right heel, and then drop your right knee, stretching through that left leg. So we're going to come to a half Hanumanasana or a half splits. Hips are stacked on top of that right knee, and just untuck the right toes for me. And the left leg is as long as you can. Now if you have two blocks, you can place your hands onto those two blocks to find a little more length. They don't have to be blocks, they could be books. If you've got two dogs, that might work. Two willing participants that will just sit there and you can press into their heads to find a little more length. Alternatively, you don't need that. You just place the fingertips to the floor, and if they don't get there, hands to hips. Now if you have hyperextending legs, so if your knees sometimes sway backwards, soften your knee very slightly. In fact, you can also soften your knees, sometimes just kind of the hamstrings. Take an inhale for me, look forwards. Now as you exhale, find a little softening through the elbows, so we're not folding all the way down, just finding a little softening, head is forwards. Inhale, re-lengthen. Exhale, soften. Last time, inhale, press your bum up, lengthen your head forwards. Exhale as you fold over legs. Inhale, come forwards. Slide your left heel in, take a bend into the knee, frame your front foot, and step forwards into your Uttanasana, your forward bend, walking toes to touch. Inhale, look up halfway, find length. Exhale, fold into your length. Root through your feet, inhale, bend your knees, come to Uttanasana. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, hands to heart. Do the same thing, bend your knees. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, root down to fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your left foot and right foot back, high plank. Take an inhale as you get there. Exhale, lower all the way. If you feel ready to, halfway chaturanga. Inhale, come to cobra or up dog, heart lift. Exhale, belly leads you up and back, downward facing dog. Press into the right foot straight away. Inhale, left leg comes up. As you exhale, draw the knee into the nose, rise to right toes, rise to left fingers, step your foot towards the top. As you get there, rise to both fingertips, curl the shoulders, and then root into your right finger pads. From here, rotate and turn your left arm up towards the sky. As the left arm rises, can you lean your chest back? Can you lead the left thumb a little higher towards the sky? Tap that left hip back for me, but keep grounding through your pelvis, noting if the left knee is really wide. And can you keep pressing through the big toe side of your left foot and hugging your knee closer towards your ribcage. Take a breath in. Exhale, left hand to the back of the room. Begin to either keep your eyes where they are or look forwards to find your stability, and reach your right arm all the way forwards, left arm stays back. Now once you've found it, if you frail, if you wobble, it's all good. In the comfort of our own homes here, so it really doesn't matter, not that it should matter anywhere else. but you know, it's okay unless there's loads of furniture with you, in which case be mindful of that. Maybe just take the furniture with you if you fall. And then extend your fingers. So once you've arrived, once you've found your stability, then ground through your front heel, press your back heel away, and play with rotating your head to the side. Next inhale, both arms are going to come up. As you exhale, left toes stay as they are. Drop your back heel and then stretch your arms wide into warrior two. So warrior two, left heel is over the left ankle. Right toes are slightly turned in. If anything, the heel is slightly turned out. That is just going to help you focus more on the external rotation of your front thigh rather than worrying too much if your hips are squaring all the way forwards. Long fingers. Stretch your left leg. Flip your left palm up. Inhale, rise into your reverse Trikonasana. As you exhale, hips go back, fingers go forwards, drop the back of the left hand, right arm rises. Keep soft through this left knee for me. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, right bicep alongside the ear. Collapse your chest, round your right hand down, left hand down, spin everything forwards to the long edge of your mat. Toes forwards, heels a little wider than your toes. If your fingers don't quite hit the floor, don't worry, grab your blocks or hands to thighs or shins. Inhale, we'll all lengthen. Good, and then as you exhale, we begin to bow down, we forward fold. This time, hold steady, shift more weight into the balls of your feet and play with tilting your sit bones towards the sky, taking all of the weight out of your head, your neck, your jaw. Like you're beginning again, you're starting afresh through the head. We don't need to be gripping onto all of this stuff that we carry around all day. You can just allow it to fall out of your mind and body just even for this moment. Next inhale, come up to your fingers. Exhale, check out the front of your mat. Spin on your right heel, your left toes. Come to frame your front foot and then lower your left knee down, untucking your toes. So the hips come to stack on top of that left knee and your right leg is long. If you need to wiggle the foot forwards or backwards to find it, go for it. Again, if it doesn't feel so good for you, remember it's early or it might be early, so bend your right knee as much as you want to. Grab your blocks, hands to thighs, hips, or fingertips to the floor. Inhale as you look forwards. Now as you exhale, just invite a little softness into the elbows, nothing major. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold, even just slightly. Last time, inhale, heart leads the way. Exhale, tilt the sit bones, fold. Inhale as you lengthen. Slide your right heel in, bend your front knee, ground the palms, and step forwards, Uttanasana, big toes together. Inhale, look up halfway, lift the heart. Exhale, bow down. Bend your knees. Last time, inhale, Utkatasana, fingers rise. Exhale, Tadasana, hands to the heart. Take a moment there, close off your eyes. And just take a moment to notice. Feel the sensations of Shakti, that awakened energy being released and wiggled and shaken about the body. And now allow yourself to ground in, toes spread wide, heart lengthen. Soften for a moment through your shoulders, your jaw, even the belly. Just let yourself take a moment to rest. Blinking eyes open. Inhale, carry the arms up. Exhale, bow down. Last little flow. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fingers or hands to the floor. Step or hop back into your chaturanga. As you inhale, we arrive. We find space into cobra or up dog. And then this time, drop your knees. Peel the hips back. Walk your knees a little wider. Draw your big toes together and sit into your child's pose. And just allow the head to bow here. Allow the hands to soften. And take a breath or two just to release. Feeling this vibrant energy rising through the back and the front of your body. And walk the hands back, lifting up onto your shins. Gather your legs over to one side and come to sit all the way down. Good, walk yourself forwards on your mat for me. Reach your fingertips forwards, curl your chin to your chest, and then lightly we'll begin to roll all the way down onto the back of your body. As you come onto your back, let's walk the heels nice and close in towards your hips and send your arms by your sides, palms flat down to the floor. Now take a moment here before we lift into any back bend, just to root your lower back down to the floor. So as you press into the feet, can you feel almost like your belly button is sinking down towards the floor? So you're not pulling it in, but it naturally sinks as the lower back flattens. Find that little sensation of rising energy or strength through the backs of your thighs. Take a breath in. Now as you exhale, maintain that rooting as you lift up your hips, lift up your lower back, mid back, and maybe even some of your upper back can breathe and rise off of the floor. As you come to the highest point of your Setu Bandhasana, your bridge pose today, give the shoulders a little wriggle underneath you, maybe even clasping a hold of the fingers as you press the palms away. Now can you press into the heels of your feet and reach your hip bones a little higher to the sky, feeling your transverse abdominals knit in. So these really deep abs that we carry kind of in between the hip bones, we shorten that space just to find a little last bit of strength through the core. Imagine you have something in between your knees and you're drawing it in so the legs stay strong. And let the breath be bold and expansive. We're going to be here for another 2 breaths. See if you can let your breath be a little noisy, maybe even so noisy that someone in another room is like, what is going on, Darth Vader? Let them say that. Take a big inhale. Big exhale. Last time, big breath in. Deep exhale, breath out. Drop the fingers. Curl your shoulders underneath you. Now take your time, rise up to your tiptoes, and then roll your spine down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Slowly, softly, we roll to the floor. As your hips arrive, wiggle the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop out. Let your left hand rest to your heart, your right hand rest onto your belly, and then close off your eyes just for a moment. Allow yourself to drop into this shape. Beginning to slow our practice. You start to feel that strength that you have created through the body. Take hold of the outsides of your thighs. Gather your knees in and then begin to hug your knees into your chest. Nice and gently, nice and slowly. Take a hold of the legs and give yourself a little rock side to side, just massaging through the spine. And then pausing to find center. Let's split the knees wide. Reach your elbows onto the insides of the knees, taking a hold of the outsides of your ankles or your feet. And then kick one foot up and the other foot up into your happy baby. And again, just take a little rock here, side to side, massaging everything out through the body. And then let your heels drop in towards your hips. Gather your knees in, squeeze them all the way up into your chest and draw your nose up to your knees, maybe taking a hold of the feet as you lightly draw and pull yourself in. And then releasing the head down. If you have the space or the time, then take a couple minutes in your Shavasana. Otherwise, take a hold of the backs of your thighs, roll all the way up, and we'll come into a seated position. So if you have time, come to Shavasana and just shut me off. Close your eyes and take a couple minutes there, just breathing and softening, absorbing your practice. Otherwise, we'll finish in a seated position all together. Rest your palms up on your knees and just close off the eyes for a moment, letting yourself settle into this final shape. And as you arrive in this shape, take a moment to reflect and offer yourself up gratitude for making it onto your mat. No matter what happened through your physical practice, no matter what's happened through your day or your week so far, you made it here and you stepped on and you did it. And that really does deserve appreciation, so offer yourself up that gratitude. And then together to seal our practice, let's take an inhale to raise the arms above the head. As you exhale, seal the palms together. And then press your thumbs to your forehead for kind thoughts. Bring your thumbs to your lips for kind words. And then bring your thumbs to your heart for kind actions. Thank you for sharing your beautiful practice with me today. Namaste.